Overthinking is when your mind becomes like a computer that just won't shut off. You try to focus on something else, but then you end up thinking about what you're focusing on, and then you think about why you're thinking about it, and then before you know it, you've created a tangled web of thoughts in your mind that are difficult to escape from. This isn't exactly a productive way to live life. So today, we're going to show you how to stop overthinking using a simple 3-step guide. Starting with number 1, ask yourself whether or not your thinking is helpful. Thinking can be divided into 2 categories: healthy thinking and unhealthy thinking. Unhealthy thinking is thinking that makes you feel bad. It causes you to have negative emotions like anxiety, sadness, and fear. Healthy thinking is thinking that makes you feel good. It causes you to have positive emotions like happiness, confidence, and optimism. You want to make sure that most of your thoughts are healthy because if they aren't, you'll start feeling miserable. Now, there's nothing wrong with having negative thoughts every once in a while, but if they're becoming excessive and getting in the way of your daily life, then it's time for a change. Take this situation, for example. Let's say you have an exam coming up tomorrow. If you think something like, "I really hope I pass this exam because I do not want my parents to be disappointed in me," then this is a perfectly normal and healthy thought. However, if you start thinking something along the lines of, "What if I fail this exam? My parents will be so disappointed in me, and I'll disappoint everyone around me. I might as well not even bother showing up. I'm doomed anyway," then you've crossed the line into unhealthy thinking. Do you see the difference here? In the first scenario, you were simply acknowledging your fear of failure. And in the second scenario, you started to dwell on the possibilities of failure and let your imagination run wild. When you catch yourself doing this, you need to put a stop to it right away because these thoughts will only cause more negative thoughts. The key to stopping overthinking is to stop feeding the monster. So the first step towards achieving that is to ask yourself whether or not your thinking is actually helping you. If it isn't, then you need to move on to step number 2. 2. Challenge your negative thoughts. We all have negative thoughts from time to time, and that's completely normal. But if you let those thoughts dictate how you behave, then you're giving them too much power. For example, let's say you're worried about your future. Maybe you're wondering whether or not you'll be able to find a job after graduation, or maybe you're concerned about your relationship status, or perhaps you're struggling with financial problems. Whatever the case may be, you need to understand that your negative thoughts aren't facts. They're just thoughts. Your thoughts are like a bird that flies around your head. Just because the bird is there doesn't mean you have to listen to what it's saying. Instead, you should challenge your negative thoughts by asking yourself 3 questions. Is it true? What's the evidence? How does it make me feel? Let's use one of the earlier examples to illustrate how this works. Let's say you're worried about finding a job after graduation. You start thinking to yourself, "I'm not smart enough to get a good job." First, ask yourself, is it true? Well, it could be true, but you don't know that for sure. You're just assuming things. Next, ask yourself, what's the evidence? You may have some evidence, like the fact that you didn't do very well on your exams. Or maybe you haven't had much work experience. But remember, this isn't proof that you won't be able to find a job. There are plenty of people who didn't do well in school, but they're still employed. Finally, ask yourself, how does it make me feel? If I believe that I'm not smart enough to get a good job, then I'll probably feel bad about myself. And this isn't good for my mental health. Now, once you've asked yourself these questions, you should be able to see that your negative thoughts aren't as powerful as you thought they were. You can choose to ignore them and focus on more positive thoughts instead. Of course, this isn't always easy to do, which is where step 3 comes in. 3. Create a daily routine. Creating a daily routine is one of the best ways to stop overthinking because it gives you something to focus on other than your thoughts. When you have a busy schedule filled with activities and tasks, you won't have time to sit around and think negatively. Keep in mind that the key to creating an effective daily routine is to make sure that it includes activities that you enjoy. Otherwise, you're just going to end up resenting it and not sticking to it. Here's an example of what a balanced daily routine could look like. Morning, wake up early, make your bed, Exercise, take a shower, eat breakfast, plan your day. Afternoon, work on your goals, take breaks, socialize, continue working on your goals. Evening, cook dinner, eat dinner, relax, read a book, go to sleep. Remember that this is just a sample routine that you can adjust to fit your own needs and preferences. As you can see, this routine includes a lot of different activities that should keep you busy throughout the day. You can add or remove activities as you see fit, but make sure that you include a mix of physical activity, relaxation, and social interaction. By following a routine like this, you'll be less likely to have time to overthink things. Here are some more tips on how to stop overthinking. Take care of your body. When you take care of your body, you'll feel better about yourself and you'll be less likely to overthink things. Make sure to get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, and exercise regularly. Get some fresh air. Spending time outdoors has been shown to improve mental health. Go for a walk, hike, or bike ride every day. This will help you clear your head and focus on the present moment. Talk to someone. If you're struggling to stop overthinking on your own, then reach out for professional help. A therapist can teach you coping mechanisms and help you change the way you think about things. Don't try to be perfect. This is a major cause of overthinking. When you set unrealistic expectations for yourself, you'll only end up feeling disappointed when you can't meet them. Learn to accept that mistakes are okay and that it's impossible to be perfect all the time. Focus on the present moment. Overthinking usually involves worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. To stop overthinking, focus on the present moment. This will help you appreciate what you have and reduce your anxiety levels. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a great way to stop overthinking because it teaches you to focus on the present moment. There are many different ways to practice mindfulness, such as meditation, yoga, and journaling. Find what works best for you and stick with it. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is important for reducing overthinking. When you have clear boundaries, you'll know where your thoughts are crossing the line, and you'll be able to stop them right away. For example, if you're at work, focus on work. Don't let your mind wander to your personal problems. When you get home, then you can allow yourself to think about your personal problems. This will help you avoid overthinking them at work. Take care of your mental health. Just like physical health, mental health is just as important. Make sure to take care of both by getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, and spending time outdoors. These basic things will improve your overall well-being and reduce the amount of time you spend overthinking things. We hope that the tips above have helped you understand how to stop overthinking. Overthinking is a common problem that can affect anyone. But the good news is that there are things you can do to overcome it. By following the tips above, you can learn to control your thoughts and stop overthinking. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch our other videos. Until next time, thanks for watching.